You and we're live, coming to you from snowy Edmonton and snowier Oxbow, Saskatchewan. Good stuff. All right. Kira said she can actually see the reflection of my computer and my glasses, but I can't see without them, so you'll have to deal with the reflection. All right. So Kira and I were actually talking about, just before we went live, about some of the things that came up this week. One of them was temptations. And I know, Kira, that was a really tough thing for you when you first started. Do you want to talk about your experience with grocery shopping, and then again with having some of the goodies in your house?
Well, grocery shopping in general, anytime has been difficult for me forever. I mean, I have a chronic addiction to chocolate. Um, so yeah, before I started this, I'd go to the grocery store and I'd pick out, my basic vegetables and fruit and carry on, grab the rest of the stuff I need, and then the candy aisle would show up and I would go all out. Um, and I would get home, put all my stuff in the fridge, put all my stuff in the pantry, and as the days go on, I'd have to go back to the grocery store to get some other stuff, but the fruits and vegetables that I'd put in my fridge had all gone bad because I hadn't eaten any of them.
So
And
good intentions, but
yeah, but it never happened. Even for my kids, when they'd come up to me and ask me if they could have a snack, I would reach for what was easiest for me, not necessarily what was healthy for them. Um, and what I've learned too with this experience is that my kids really like fruit. They really like grapes and strawberries and bananas and salads and broccoli. That's not normal for kids, but they like it and that's good. And so it's kind of a process for everybody actually. But that's made it a little easier too, knowing that they will eat what I eat. And now when I go to the grocery store, um, it's still it's still in the back of my mind. I'll grab, a whole bunch of vegetables now and barely skim through, the dairy because now no one here drinks milk. It's all water. Um, and then when I get to that candy section, like I did the other day, I I just told myself that I didn't want food to own me.
mm,
I kept telling myself while I'm looking at it, it's just food. It's just food. I don't need it. It doesn't do anything for me. Really, it brings me down, and it's a terrible example for my children. So I didn't really have any desire to buy it this time.
that's awesome. And
Mhm.
that's a huge shift when you really think about, those are habitual things that we do that we really don't realize we're doing.
Mhm.
But it's a big shift for you and your family, and it's a good one in the right
And
direction.
it's funny because now, standing at the till with my groceries, I'm not embarrassed about what I'm eating. I don't feel like, somebody's judging me based on what I eat. It's healthy for me, it's healthy for my family, and I'm pretty confident in what I'm getting now.
Well, anybody
Um,
anybody peeking in your grocery cart, just, I mean, firstly, it's no one's business, but I
well, it's
understand.
a small town.
Pardon?
It's a small town.
Right,
But
right. So moving forward, you said that you actually prepared certain things for the kids and for your family that you didn't touch as well. So maybe talk a little bit about that.
Well, Riley had surgery a few days ago, so he's been hanging out at home. And today we kind of have cooking, baking day. Um, Last night I made a wicked awesome meatloaf and mashed potatoes, which is my favorite. And I didn't eat it. I had no desire to eat it. I think it also helps having my meals prepared.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that our schedule works out, I eat before everybody else eats. So I'm not hungry when this food is in front of me, which really helps. Um, and then this morning, I I made brownies. And to be completely honest, I had really not very good intentions with the brownies. But
Right.
by the time they were made, I didn't want any.
And you told me
I,
when we talked earlier, you said, why? Why? Because you said it wasn't.
it wasn't worth it wasn't worth it. I have to work so hard to work off one of those brownies and say I ate some brownies today and then I go to the gym, I'm working off that brownie. I'm not working off, I'm just setting myself back.
Right.
I'm not moving forward. I'm at a standstill. And that is frustrating, and I know that feeling. So it was not worth it to me.
Mm-hmm. The
And
brownie
I
didn't
also
taste
made,
that. The brownie didn't
yeah,
taste that good. Yeah.
no, that's
Yeah.
not taste that good.
There's
Does
a saying
not as
that
good as a
says
beautiful look.
nothing tastes as good as healthy feels.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I made pigs in a blanket too,
Mm-hmm.
and Bill did not eat it. And it was such a good feeling that I can say no and that food doesn't control me. Felt pretty good.
That, that's a big, big thing. Yeah.
Mhm.
Because a lot of us, including myself prior, eat emotionally. So I think a couple key things. Number one, you're eating before your family, so you're full, you're satisfied. You're eating functional food because it's very functional. In fact, it's pretty scientific when you think about really giving your body what you need. Your body's kind of a chemistry lab, and it's tweaking things and improving things, but it's really functional food and for optimum health,
Mhm.
which is really interesting. So that's key, and also the fact that you've realized having that is really a setback, and not to do that to yourself, or it's really not worth it at the end of the day.
Well, the emotional eating too, like my kids, at some point in the day or one or all of them at the same time. And that makes me just wanna go into my room and shut the door. And that's usually when I would run for chocolate because it was alleviating stress in my life. Um, so that's been a challenge too. I take deep breaths and I found too if I have cravings, I'll go have a hot shower or I'll throw a stick of gum in my mouth,
Mm-hmm.
chew on that, drink a bunch of water, just try to get my mind off of things. But yeah, it's been really stressful with kids and that stress because that's what they see too, how I handle my stress. I used to with food.
Yeah.
I
Now you're
want them to
giving
do the
yourself
same
different
thing.
tools, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But a great example for them as well that you can choose different things. You can have a shower, have water, or whatever the case may be, however you deal with stress. Do you find working out is also a stress relief?
Oh, absolutely.
Hmm.
going to the gym has its stresses too.
Right.
But I always feel good when I leave there.
Yeah, I remember Doug actually saying years ago, because you don't always want to go. It's not always convenient to go. We talked about this earlier too, about really making health a priority. And there's I've heard it said before too. Ask anybody who's ill what they would pay to be well. And
Mhm.
so many people take it for granted, including myself. I mean, I've parked for 15 years, but it's go time. So, but it's not always convenient. You don't always want to go. Doug used to say, he'd tell himself no all the way there while he was driving, and he was never disappointed that he'd worked out. So
Mhm.
yeah, absolutely. Talk a little bit about too what I mean. We talked about this a little earlier. It's tough. You've got three little ones, and the juggling and maybe talk a little bit about that. A day in the life of.
A day in the life of holy smokes. Um,
You don't have to go into great detail, but just what's how
it's
hard
kind of
is
hard
it?
to not to because there's so much.
Right.
Well, to start off the morning, um, I'm up at about 4:30, because that's usually when Case's second feeding is done. And I'm up twice during the night with him and probably a couple times during the night with Delaney. So I'm exhausted. But I get up and I go do my cardio. And in that time, Case is awake. I put him in his jumper, and usually Delaney wakes up at that time. And then about half an hour after she gets up, Haley's up, and everybody's crying for breakfast. So I power through my cardio, and I get everyone's breakfast, and then after that, clean up the house, try and get some laundry done, and dishes and vacuuming, and whatever else is on my walls. Um,
All the stuff.
I try to get yeah, I try to get my meals in on time. I'm usually about half an hour late on average. Because the kids see me eating too, and then they think they're hungry, but they're not. Um, and yeah, I feed Case before I go to the gym. As soon as I get back, I gotta feed him again, and then I gotta feed myself, and then I gotta feed the other two, and then it's back to cleaning the house up and bathing kids, and it's a it's a lot of work in a day.
Hmm.
A lot of work in a day, and
Yeah.
it's a lot of work going to the gym, and I'm working hard at the gym, but it's my time away from everybody else. I
Hmm.
get to focus on me and my health. It's good.
Good stuff. Yeah, I remember. Obviously, I'm an empty nester at this point, but I remember competing 15 years ago when you guys were little,
Hmm.
getting up at 4:30, having my egg whites and oatmeal, and going to the gym before work because at that time I didn't work from home. I worked 8 hours at the bank, and just eating, every 3 hours, taking my coffee breaks and eating my food, and then going back to the gym after you guys had done your homework. So yeah, it's again just making it a priority. Obviously we're doing this, and it's a bit of an extreme, but the gift to yourself is the message really is don't take your health for granted. To really give that gift to yourself. So what
And
we love. Sorry.
we had talked a while ago about this too. Maybe Tina and Ryan remembered more than I do because I was smaller, but all I remember about you competing back then was just how much more fun you were. You played on the park with us. We went golfing. You played in the yard. We played soccer, and I don't remember. I don't remember you getting up at 4:30 in the morning. I
That's
don't
because
remember how
sleeping.
the, the chicken and the vegetables. And I don't remember any of it. I don't remember having a fun or wrong, healthy or wrong.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that's important for kids.
Absolutely.
Like
And
they say, kids, when you go swimming with them, they always remember their mom swimming with them. They don't remember their mom being fat. But being healthy and being able to go in there comfortable and swimming with you, I think that's really important.
hmm yeah, because at the end of the day, it's the quality time that you spend for sure. And I
Yes.
and what's interesting is we talk about how tired we are when we go to the gym sometimes. I always feel more energized, but exercise actually gives you energy, so um, energizes your life, and carrying around extra weight, extra pounds only weights you down as well. So
Mhm.
um, what I'd love to do is actually invite people to not necessarily join us because, like I've said, what we're doing is a bit extreme. But if you've been kind of toying with the idea of going to the gym or wanting to do something, would love to have you actually post that on our Facebook page and talk about what you're doing to move forward with your health as well. So we'd love for you to really join us. We'd love to build a community here, and we really appreciate people taking the time to watch these. So thanks, Kira.
You're welcome.
These are fun, and I've really really enjoyed this experience.
Me too.
Talked earlier too about potentially having some media coverage, so we'll see how that pans out. But um, our show is October 24th here in Edmonton, and would love to have people come and attend and just root for us. Good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, honey. Love
Okay.
you.
Love you too.
Talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye.